Bahrain, welcome to SFR Sunday nights. We've had a bit of a glitch with the lobby. We loaded into a lobby and then we got kicked out. It glitched up completely. So we are back, we are live, and this is Bahrain for Season 4, Round 6 of SFR Switchback Formula Racing. This evening we have a full grid, and joining me in the commentary box I have Cornet. Cornet, welcome.
Hello.
How are you doing, okay?
Yeah, pretty good day.
Good. How are you feeling about Bahrain under the lights? Always a tasty little... it's always fun, isn't it?
It's always a really good track for league racing. You always have good battles, overtaking opportunities, turn 1, turn 4. And you can always come back after someone overtakes you in turn 1.
Yes, yeah, turn 1's always a fun little jaunt down to at the beginning of the race. So normally we run short qualifying and then a 50% race. However, we have 4 rounds of 4 tracks this season, and in each 4 block we will be running 1 sprint qualifying race. So we'll be doing a short qualifying, a 5-lap sprint, which then sets the full grid for the 50% race. Tonight is one of those races. The last race we did it in was at, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it was Austria, wasn't it? I think we did it at. And we are doing it again this evening, so that's always makes for interesting strategies, because obviously anyone, they can choose any tyre they want. If you start in the top 10 for the sprint, then I think you have to use these tyres, don't you? I can't remember, for a 5-lap sprint, but for the full 50% race you can choose any strategy, which is always key in Bahrain. Is that something you would say so?
Yeah,
what would be the ideal strategy
the
here?
2-stop is faster if you're comfortable enough. Like drivers like the fastest drivers, like Days, Kachau, Lasse, they can go for 2-stop if they're comfortable enough to overtake. But with the 1-stop, you don't have to go through traffic like an extra time. So it really depends on how comfortable you feel on this track with overtaking.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the hardest track to overtake on. There's what, three good straights, 2 of them, well, 4 straights actually, 2 DRS straights, 3 DRS actually, I lie, isn't it? It's 3 DRS straights. You've got the run down to turn 1, or the pit straight. You've got the exit of 3 is a short DRS straight, and then you've got the run from turn 10 down to turn 11 is a DRS straight, and then another long straight on the run up to the last corner. So there's 4 good straights here to make overtakes on, plus quite a few corners where you can send one up the inside or outside.
True, but you can also have, like I had last time we raced here with Days and Cool Guy. Days and I were on a 2-stop, Cool Guy was on a 1-stop, but because Days and I were driving in tandem, just pulling each other along, same pace, and when we ran into Cool Guy we had
literally
fights every lap, so we were kind of stuck with him.
Yeah.
So that's the risk you take with the 2-stop. The 1-stop is safe, 2-stop is risky, but you can have a more fun race, in my opinion.
So we've got 3 drivers at the minute here on medium tyres. Ted Wardo's left the session, so let me just invite Ted Wardo back in.
It looks like he is.
Now I can see some carbon
Exit
fibre.
turn
Yes.
4.
Yeah, and there's an Alfa Romeo
damn.
who's got no front wing either.
Maybe they had an incident. But we'll
Anything
see.
on the race director?
Let me check.
So yeah, FRL Charlie's 25.4. You did a 25 flat, wasn't it, in time trial? But time trial this year does seem to be a bit slower. Sorry, a bit Because obviously you haven't
It
got
looks
the
like
extra...
it was Will on his own. It
Will on
says
his
terminal
own.
damage.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
so...
said he took the same line as in real life, but got killed for it. So
Wonderful.
probably the curb.
There you go. So, yeah, Charlie's got a 25.484. Rayner's done a 25.987. The only two drivers in the 25 so far. Kachow's pretty close with a 26.1. Quentin, who has self-proclaimed to me that he loves this track, is a 26.144. Got yellow flag in sector 2. It looks like just like a driver driving slowly, I believe. It should be cleared up very soon.
Yeah, just letting someone drive past.
B16, he is on a great run of form at the minute. He is really starting to show some pace. He currently in P5 with a 26.3, so he's not too far off a pretty good time there either. Delta Lima, 27 flat so far. Invalid. No, it's an in lap this one, so he's all good. Eduardo, I think, is having a few issues coming in and out of the lobby.
Weird is about to cross the line on his flyer.
Okie dokie. He had a bit of traffic there, it looked like, so he jumped back on
it
with
looks like
Veer.
an okay lap, to be honest, but
he's boxing.
Going into the pits.
Yeah, I think he might have got held up. But just as I clicked on, there was quite a few bits of traffic there. Marco Kenya's just starting in the Haas, car number 19. Oh, and he goes round. He's round. He's in the runoff area on the inside of turn 1. Takes the Pirelli sign with him. New driver this week, Jim Strav, hasn't come out of the pits yet. He's on a set of softs, but he will be when he comes out. But he's currently in the pit lane. One of 5
Silent
drivers.
Looks like he's on a fast lap. No, he's not. Sorry.
Yeah, 28.9 so far. He's pretty quick round here. I watched him in RFL in the realistic performance cars, and he's got some serious pace. So we'll look out for him and see what he can do.
Dace is on a flyer on mediums, it looks like.
Okay.
Oh, no, he backed out.
Yeah, 6.7 seconds. Red Dog looks like he's on a flying lap on a set of softs, but these are 2 laps old, so I'm pretty sure he'll be coming back in.
Yeah, I think everyone just did.
And he's invalidated.
Run,
yeah, invalidated there. So who else is out? Silent. What's his first sector split? He's already gone round it, and it doesn't come up anymore. Normally, when you flick back on and off a driver, it will come up with their sector splits, but it doesn't do that anymore. Very annoyingly, so you can't see. Exotic is on a flying lap. It looks like. What's the first What's a good first sector time here?
Ooh, it also depends on the setup you're using. You can. Like I like to use a low downforce setup, and then it will be like a mid, like 27.7 would be a really good one on mediums.
Okay, so Exotic did
27.4 should be really good in sector 1. But if you have higher downforce, then sector 2 is more critical.
Yeah, so Exotic did a 27.8 on the soft tyres in the first sector. So he's probably 1 or 2 tenths off where he possibly should be. We're not quite sure exactly what setup he is running. Mark of Kenya is still spinning round and round and round on his medium tyres, currently ruining those tyres for any further use. Exotic.
I think Silent is getting some practice in.
Do you think?
Yeah, he's just doing soft runs. Which is not a terrible thing to do, to be honest.
No.
I sometimes do that.
Burn out a
like
couple
1 or 2 laps and then
burn out 1 set of tyres and then go again.
Yeah.
So Exotic crosses the line and he's in the 26s, a 26.316. That puts him into P6. Looks like everyone's either on a... Rayner is on a... just about started a flying lap, so he's only 5 seconds in. Silence obviously just doing practice laps, and everyone else is on out laps. Whereabouts is Charlie on track? Charlie is just coming up to the last corner on his out lap, so he'll be starting another lap very soon.
I think Mark of Kenya invalidated on his laps, because he did 2 laps on mediums but didn't set a time.
Okay, yeah, I think he was going round and round, so he's in the pit lane. So Charlie is on a flying lap. Kachow is just starting a lap as well. Yeah, Kachow's just starting a lap, so he's not too far behind Charlie.
Stay on board with Kachow, because he can really... He is really fast. He's one of the fastest in here.
Yeah, he's got 7 tenths to find to try and budge FRL Charlie out of the out of pole position. So I'll flick between these two.
Charlie invalidated, so go back to...
Charlie's invalidated.
Xiao, as he's... Yeah.
Cool.
Rayner's also on a fast lap on the last straight.
Alright, so he's 4 tenths up on
Starting
his best time. So this is going to put him pretty close to Charlie, I reckon. This could put him pretty close to Charlie. So let's see what he's got as he comes across the line. He's going to be dumping all of his ERS. He's going to run out just on the line, and he goes P2.
Damn.
What's the
Mr.
gap?
Saturday.
What's the gap there? So he's 1.5 tenths off Charlie. 1.5 tenths off Charlie.
Kachao is 5 tenths up.
Okay, so Kachao, this is going to put
so
him...
he's on for 25.5, so probably... It's going to be close between him and Charlie.
And Lass has jumped up to P3.
Good exit from the last corner. Kachao here. And that's P1.
P1 by
400ths of a second.
400ths of a second. So let's bring Charlie, and we've got Charlie in the party chat. So Charlie, you want to join us as you come into the pit lane? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, team radio. So Charlie, you are currently, you were P1. You've just lost P1 to Kachao by 400ths of a second. You obviously invalidated your lap. How are you feeling? Have you got more time?
Yeah, I've got plenty of time. I was gonna try and get a bit quicker on old serve tires because there is still a lot of time left, of course. But I'm gonna use the rest of my fresh sets now, since I've got pretty much 7 minutes, and I reckon I can gain the time on Kachao because that was a very good lap by him. But I do think that it is beatable. It's
so
definitely beatable, I reckon.
You reckon you've got time in your lap to be able to go quicker?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. All right. Well, good luck with that. Go back out. You've got 6.5 minutes left.
Kachao's on another fast lap.
Is he up on his time? Yeah, he's 2 tenths up.
I have no clue.
He's 2 tenths up. Well, just under 2 tenths.
Damn.
So he could be in the low 25s here. In the meantime, Delta's gone quicker. He's done a 26.277. 2 lap old softs though. And yes, Kachao, low 1 minute 25s. But he's burnt out a set of softs. He's done 2 full laps, 2 full flying laps. And he's going to do an out lap and an in lap on them. So they could be quite worn by the time. But then it's only a 5 lap sprint, isn't it?
For the sprint race, but
so
still...
It's not, it's not ideal, but it's not going to impact too much.
It might be some dents.
So Delta now drops down to P10 as Quentin went faster. I think Dace has just gone faster as well. Yeah, Dace has just gone faster, so he's into P5. We have Ted, who hasn't left the garage yet. Jim hasn't left the garage yet either. He, just as I say that, he comes out. So he's just leaving. He's just at the turn 1 apex. So Delta, you're on a flying lap right now on his 2 lap old softs as well. So yeah, they're not going to be massively fresh. You're not on a flying lap, so Delta, join us if you may.
Yo, I'm on an in lap.
On an in lap. So you've done 2 lap old. You're on 2 lap old softs. You're going to be able to get a chance to go back out again and try and beat your time.
5 more minutes. I'm outside the top 10 anyway, so if I don't improve,
break.
At least I'll have a fresh set. All right. Calm down. I mean, I know I'm not as quick as everyone here. I know I'm not as quick as everyone anywhere, but I'm not expecting to stay up in the P11 for very long.
No, but P11's good. You were struggling a bit earlier in the practice session, but you seem to have found a bit of a groove for the 26.2, so that's pretty good for you. You got any much more time in there?
Possibly only about a tenth or two.
Okay, well, get
nothing massive.
Tenth or two will drop you into the 25s. Try and get into the 25s. That's your plan.
I'll try my best.
Perfect.
I'll try my best.
All right, so riding back on board with Charlie. Charlie is just under a tenth up on his fastest time so far, and he's got to find exactly 2 tenths.
A little confidence lift in the fast chicane there, I noticed. So he's not on a maximum. I think he still has... he doesn't have time after this run, I think, to do another lap. So we'll see what he does in the last sector, if he full sends it or not. Yeah,
so this is it. So most drivers are in the pit lane right now. So if what he could do if he isn't up on his time here, well, he's 2.5 tenths up. So I mean, he's going to be on pole if this form continues. But if he does mess up the last corner, the luxury he's got is he can just go straight in the pits and put a fresh set of tyres on. If he wants to abandon this lap. But at the minute, he is going to be on provisional pole. He said he had time to find. He has found that time, and he crosses the line, and it's going to be provisional pole with a 25 flat. So Kachau now...
really good lap.
Yeah, Kachau now has to find 2 and a bit tenths to try and nudge him off. Quentin in P3...
It's not impossible for Kachau.
It's not. It's not. He can do it.
But he needs to full send it.
Yeah,
like
he does.
Go flat through the corners I just talked about. Like the fast chicane at the start of the second sector. The left-hander in 6th gear before the hairpin. You gotta nail that to have a good time, because you can win tenths there. It's really crucial for a good lap. But in the meantime, well, no one's really on a hot lap. Will is gonna be in a really interesting place for the sprint race.
You can
to
just
see if he does like full send it into turn 1 or
does it, Johnny?
Like that, or
do you remember watching the online Grand Prix when Johnny Herbert absolutely sent? Was it Johnny Herbert? I'm pretty sure it was. He absolutely sent it into turn 1 and just went from like 20th to 1st in one corner. He just took turn
exactly.
1 off. Yeah.
Because we know Will can be a really aggressive driver, but he can also be really conservative.
Oh yeah. He's consistent.
He might surprise.
He didn't make it past... I don't think he made it past the start-finish line last week in Hungary. He got wiped out at turn 1. Not even turn 1, before he got wiped out in the wet weather. So I'm currently riding on board with the new driver we have this week, Jim Strav, who is Greek, I believe, in the Red Bull. Teamed up with Lasse. He's on a 26.687. He's invalidated his lap though, unfortunately. So let's jump off board him and let's have a look at Lasse. Lasse's 5 seconds down, so this is just an out lap. Coming round, he's going to be warming his tyres up, saving some ERS. Dace,
it looked like he was pushing before, so he might have backed out, realizing he has a better shot at this lap.
Yeah, so Dace is just starting his flying lap as well. Let's have a quick check at his first sector time, as Delta is also on a lap.
Did he go purple in sector 1?
It's just when it flashes up purple, it's normally just your personal best, your own personal best purple time.
Ah, okay.
So Delta's down, Atamar's down. Dace is marginally up, very marginally, a 100th or 12 100ths. He's up on his best time in sector 1, so he could go a little bit faster. Kachau is just starting, he's just coming round turn 1. Quentin is just going to be coming up to turn 4. Lasse is half a tenth up on his best time as he comes into the tricky turn 10 braking zone. Dace is just about to end sector 2 and he is 2.5 tenths up, so this is going to push him into the mid to low 25s. Oh, and he gets blocked! He gets blocked by Viet. Viet has blocked him. The two teammates in mistake. Yes, it was. Viet was on the racing line on the exit of 12, and yeah, Dace had to take avoiding action, and he had to, yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Briefing for them.
Yeah, Dace is ahead of him into the braking zone at 1, and Viet will be as completed as qualifying, so that has ruined Dace's. And Kachau is 12 hundredths up on the exit of the end of the second. He's invalidated. Kachau's invalidated, so Charlie looks like he's going to be on pole. Quentin is down on his time. Dace is not going to be able to get a time in.
Not up, but he might improve positions because he's really close with Atamar.
Yes, 1700.
He has to nail this last sector.
Yeah, but he's a little bit down.
Nick died on the last corner, I think. It looks like he spun into the outside corner.
Good thing about Delta is he's got a tow from a Ferrari ahead, so this could give him a little bit more extra power, a little bit more extra juice as he crosses the line. He goes a little faster, and he jumped up, so he's just behind both McLarens. So McLaren today in real life finished P1, P2. This evening they're running P11 and P12, so out of 10. Red Dog is still on a lap, but he's 3 to 4 seconds down, and that looks like it's qualifying over. Medwards is... He does go faster, Medwards. He goes 6/10 faster, and it jumps him up 1 spot.
Eduardo went wide. Nick crashed out. Rainer Zufall crashed out of the last corner.
Oh dear.
Into the outside wall. So I think he lost control on the curbs, maybe, and just slid away.
It happens. Happens to the best of us.
Exactly.
And Ted comes in the pits. So we're going to be... That's qualifying over. I'm going to zoom back in. I'm going to go to the...
and it's 1,000 between Lasse and PAFR Quinten.
Oh, wow, yeah. That's very, very close.
That's going to be really tense in the race. Really fun to see what they can do there.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go take a quick toilet break if you want to talk to Charlie about his pole.
Well, Charlie.
Hello.
Was it a perfect lap?
I don't even have words myself, to be honest. Because, like, I knew that I would be able to beat him, but once I saw that it improved to the 125 points, I didn't think I could improve that much, but surprisingly I did, and to be honest, that might be better than my time trial lap, I think. Which is a bit weird to say, but I'm kind of surprised with the lap time I got. I reckon I could have improved a little bit more maybe, but I didn't have enough time for the third lap in me.
Yeah, it's a really good time to have your personal best time in a quali. It's better than have it in a quali than in time trial, in my opinion, because this actually matters and counts for points. If the sprint race
I don't
goes
think
your
the
way.
sprint race gives out points, to be honest.
We do 3 to 1 points, if I'm correct. Delta, can you confirm?
I don't know.
Oh. I just came here to drive.
It's new for us, so it's still a little bit unsure on how we do it exactly. But we'll definitely talk about it with the admins.
I've got to make it count in this race now if I want to actually start on pole.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be really close into turn 1, I think. We might have some incidents, because from the cars in the back it's all or nothing to lose. But for the cars in front it's going to be probably a little bit more safe. If you get overtaken in turn 1, you're P2.
Well, it's time for the race now, so here we go.
Yeah, and all the lights are on and lights are out for me. And we go, Will Hans has a drive-through penalty for jump start. Charlie is still into P1, Kachao right behind him with also a decent start.
And Kachao takes the lead.
Kachao is ahead.
Wheel to wheel with
they're
Charlie.
They're still side by side, Charlie and Kachao. This is going to be really close into turn 4.
And Kenya's joining the party as well.
Join? He's
Viet
trying to go around the outside of Kachao as well. He goes wide.
Does he get that move done off the track? Is he going to have to get that position back as the game told him? Kachao currently down in P3, and Quinten's going up the inside of Kachao at turn 8, but Kachao keeps ahead, and Charlie's pulling away.
Will up
what
to
else
P13
is happening?
after jump start, but
Delta up to P8.
So
Delta's up to P8, so he's putting himself in a great position for the race. Silent into P10.
9 positions gained by Silent. Atomar 7 positions. Lasse dropped 10 positions. Days 13, the big losers here. After the first half of lap 1.
Dace didn't have a very good race last night in
did he have an incident?
NRL, and yeah, it was and Quinten is only 2/10 behind the back of Kachao now, so Quinten could make a move on Kachao. Charlie sets the fastest lap of the race, 29.1. And here comes Quinten. It's going to be 3 wide, I believe, if the camera angle would be any good. Let's jump to the onboard footage. Kachao makes the move up the inside of Kenya, oh, very close to the rear wheel there of Kachao, and that sends PAFR Quinten through.
Will and Silent made contact, the teammates for today, into turn 2. We had 1 car ghosted, and now Cool Beans is going for the move around the outside of Will. Lasse is following.
So this is how a sprint race should be. Literally
This
a
is how it
sprint
should
to
be, yeah.
not let's just get the car to the end of the 18 laps or 5
But
laps,
what's
whatever
the
they
better
do.
with silent? I'm sorry.
I'm on it, yeah.
Coolbeans, Lasse.
Yeah, I'm on it. I was watching it as you were talking about it. So Coolbeans has now lost that position back. Lasse's gone through. What's the gaps at the front? Red Dog has just overtaken Delta. There's some carbon fibre on the exit of turn 10. I don't know who's it. Delta's not going to be fighting back, but Righty Boy is going to be attacking Delta now. So Delta's up to P9, but he could lose P9 shortly with Righty Boy. And who's this on the outside? This is Medwards going, trying to go round the outside. Wow! Medwards going round the outside of Righty Boy. That is an absolutely fantastic move there. And who comes through as well? Willans goes through. I think Righty Boy might have some damage thinking about it. Yeah, he's missing a right wing end plate. Will's got this drive-through penalty to serve, so Will's fighting hard. These drivers.
Overtakes 2 people there, goes wide, so Will gets back.
And Will goes in
really
for his drive-through.
And in the second to last corner there, was really paying attention.
So Dace is now up to P14. There's 3 cars all fighting over one tiny bit of track here with Dace, Exotic, and Coolbeans there as well. Dace and Exotic are side by side. Why does it never give me a good camera angle when I want one?
Dace doing a really good job, by the way, after being P18 after lap 1, already up to P15.
Yeah.
After a collision with Rainer Zufa, it says in the incidents. So we might ask what happened after the race.
Yeah, so Righty Boy looks like he's struggling with this with his damage. He's not going to pit. He's going to stay out and just try and hope that he can keep some positions. He's already still 1 position up on his fastest so far. He's got his teammate Coolbeans coming up behind him, so he doesn't really want to hold him up. Viet in P5, so he's having a great race so far. Viet gained 5 from P10 up to P5, and is just behind Marco Kenya. He's putting himself in a great position for the 50% race coming up. So Medwards is chasing up very quickly on Delta. Medwards could make the move on Delta Lima here. He's going up the inside into the last corner. He's made the position stick. Doesn't push
Quinten's
Delta
going
up
for
too
move on
far.
Kachau for P2.
Okay, let's quickly
Round
jump on
outside
with
of
them.
P1 as he gets the fastest lap.
This makes a switchback move there, it looked like. Again, I haven't got the greatest
Kachau
camera
went
angle
really
here.
deep into turn 1.
Yeah, he's got the switchback move done. So Quentin up to P2.
Mark of Kenya joins the chat.
There's 4 cars all within literally about a tenth of each other there. Insane.
This
As
is
Via
amazing.
is looking to make a move on Kachau now as well. Let's quickly scoot back here, but Via, he's off. Who's off?
Marksman!
Mark's off. Mark's in the wall. On lap 4 of 5, so Mark of Kenya now down to P11, P12.
He gets out of the way. That's smart.
So Delta back up to P10. Lasser in P11, who got a bit of oversteer on the exit there. Red Dog up to P7. B16 is teammate, normally a fantastic qualifier. He's all the way down in P17. McLaren have had a really strong season so far, so we will watch out for those as the race goes on.
Rainer Zulfa also closing in on Weird a little bit. Will overtaking Jim Straff for P18 after the drive-through.
Alright, so we haven't
Hands
mentioned
off to
Jim's
him.
Jim Strauss. So Jim's obviously had an incident as well, so he's going to be down there. Will, yeah, P18, so he's not going to be right at the back of the grid.
Let's watch Silent and Red Dog.
Start last lap. Charlie's still in the lead. Silent, yeah, gets past Red Dog in the DRS zone. Red Dog's going to fight back, is he, at the inside? No. I think he's going to leave that position for now. He will
Three-way
get...
battle into turn 1, that's not going to go well. Oh,
And who's that?
Turn
And
out Lasse,
Lasse's
he
round.
went in. Lasse made it 3 wide. You just don't do that in turn 1. It was a risk. Not worth taking, in my opinion.
No, and Coolbeans has got past Righty Boy, so now Coolbeans is right on the back of Lasser. So Lasser down 9 positions from his opening, his qualifying position, and he's down in P13.
Delta doesn't have visible damage. So that, at least that's good. It's slightly damaged, or not damaged.
Kachau's very close to the back of Quentin now. Is he going to try and make a move?
He has
2 and a
two
bit
braking
tenths
points left.
with a long
Braking
straight.
zones, I would say.
Yeah. So
Not
Is
a
this-
lot of ERS.
it's
This is gonna be
obviously
close.
it's obviously a sprint race. It's not the full race, so one position isn't going to make a huge difference. But it's pride at the end of the day, isn't it? All drivers want to start as
You
high up the
always
grid
want
as
to
they
be as
possibly
far in
can.
front as possible.
So, oh, who's this? Viet's joining. Viet is very close to the back of Kachao. What happened there? Viet.
Oh,
32
thousandths of a second.
So Silent drops down to P7. I think he might have had a penalty. Medward's... Oh! Medward! Is he alright? He finished as he was spinning round. Delta in P10. Righty Boy currently in P15. He had some damage. P16 and P16. Will P17. Mark of Kenya. Oh! Mark of Kenya. Did an Alex Albon at the last corner. And Jim coming round in P19. So...
Willands P17 made the best out of it, and that's all I could see for that time before the stuff went away.
Yeah. So
that was really exciting, actually.
That was.
A lot of action, a lot of people going all or nothing.
Could you take a picture of the finishing positions for me?
Of course.
If you do that, I'm going to leave and set this lobby up, get ahead of the game.
I can't scroll past P14.
Click advance.
Whatever.
Click advance and you'll be able to go in.
Ah, yeah, thanks.
Why can't I go anywhere? Yes, if you've got the pictures there, have you got them all?
Yeah.
Cool.
Charlie, are you sure you can make the full race as well?
Yeah, as long as you don't run into any more problems, I should be able to.
No, it'd just be a
Okay, cool.
5 minute lobby setup and then we'll be all good.
Of course it would be a shame, but would be the biggest of issues.
So that was the sprint. What was your biggest surprise there, Cornet?
The silent guy joins in and just... I think he got 11 or 12 positions.
Have you seen Silent drive before?
Alone. I don't know.
Oh, hang on. We
He
don't
was
have to
doing-
do a new lobby, do we? We're here. Who's left?
Bacterias.
Days. You pronounce it days, by the way.
Who's leaving? I'm just going to set a new one up, new lobby up. Be safer, won't it, with the glitches. I've got it all set up and ready to go and saved. So let us do.
We have 12 drivers in the lobby at the moment.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
it
gonna.
a free tire choice?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Right. So let's go around at lobby.
I got intel that Jim's draft was disconnected the whole race.
Okay.
I don't know if that's correct, but we have someone as backup.
Could you send him a quick?
Yeah, I was just about to look what his Discord is.
Yes, I'm here.
Because I can't join your lobby and it looks like more people have the same issue. Like Exotic, Quinton, and Mark of Kenya as well.
Mark of Kenya is now here. I've sent more. I've just been through everyone again and sent more invites out. So hopefully
Okay.
now, yeah, Quinton's here now. That's all good. Looks like we're filling up quite nicely. Are you able to join?
I'm restarting the game at the moment.
Okie dokie.
Jim's draft disconnected because he doesn't have power, so we can get another driver in, Impossible Bacon.
Yeah, what's his name? Are you friends with him? I'm just spelling out his name now. I've sent one as well.
We're just waiting for Impossible Bacon to join. I raced him before. He's a clean driver. He's like midfield, top midfield pace. I would say he's a little bit slower than Will Ends.
Yeah, he's been in SFR before. I remember him from
Yeah,
last time.
I think he reserved once or twice before.
Yeah. Just setting up the grid, so I'm down to cool beans.
Yeah, no one had issues with him before, and yeah,
That's it. Cool
I've
beans.
driven him a couple of times, so it's all okay.
Righty boy. Is he coming, or has he said he is, or he isn't?
Yeah, he is on his way.
Okay.
He's loading in now.
Wonderful. So hopefully, can you just read out the names? Here he is. He's going to start last. You just read
From
out the names for me
P1.
quickly. Yeah.
Let me get to the picture. I'm not the fastest. Charlie.
Yep.
Quinton.
Yep.
Kachow.
Yep.
Weird.
Yep.
Rainer.
Yep.
Atomar.
Yep.
Silent.
Yep.
Red Dog.
Yep.
Edwards.
Yep.
Delta.
Yep.
Days.
Yep.
Exotic.
Yep.
Lasse.
Yep.
Cool Beans.
Yep.
Ruddy Boy.
Yep.
B16.
Yep.
Will.
Yep.
Mark.
Yeah.
And then Impossible.
Ted. Them impossible. Yep.
Oh yeah, Ted's also there.
Perfect. Okay, we're ready to go.
Cool.
Just ready up. So we're going to be starting the grid formation lap and then straight on in. Here we go. So, Charlie, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
How are you feeling about starting the race on pole?
First time I've started a race on pole in my life.
Is it? Are you excited
Yes.
for it?
Well, in league racing anyway it is. Last
So
time I got pole I disconnected.
Oh dear. So you've got Quinton
Yeah.
behind you, who's very quick around Bahrain. You've got Kachow, who's pretty quick as well. And then you've got Viet and I can't remember who the other person was, Rainer, all following you. So you've got to be pretty, have your wits about you into turn one.
I mean, in the sprint race, Kachow definitely put up a fight in turn one. He actually did. He forced me off a little bit in turn two, so I had to cut the corner a little bit, or else I would have spun off. And luckily I didn't pick up damage after hitting his left side pod. But he didn't leave me the biggest amount of space. He left space, but just not enough, I'd say.
Okay.
But I'm hoping that that doesn't happen again here. But it's mainly my strategies that get me some wins, not my pace. So hopefully my strategies come into play.
Well, loading into the garage now, so you run off, get your setup put on. Don't forget your set. Who's readied up? For goodness sake.
Someone readied up. Can you check who readied up?
No, you can't anymore.
Everyone's readied up pretty much.
I don't think anyone's ready. No, I'm not in the garage yet.
Oh, well, I've got.
It starts in 15 seconds, it says.
There's lobby updated.
It's saying that the lobby's updated because I think someone have joined. And we're waiting for Righty Boy.
Okay, so is this heading in just onto the grid then?
Yeah, it'll head into the grid now.
Okay, perfect. So that's a bit different.
Okay, so it was.
Right, so that's a separate thing that Cody's have done to make the game a bit more broken, which is always the way. Okay.
The loading in seems to take a long time.
Yes, it does. So they're all getting their setups on the grid. And who are you expecting to get the win then?
We know Kachow is fast and consistent, but I think Days can also surprise from Where did he start? P7? 6? Let me double check. He starts from P11 now, so I think he might make up some positions during the race.
Yeah, so everyone has got the medium tyre on, apart from Cool Beans, who's going to put a hard on. So, if you start on the medium, what's that? A one-stop strategy, medium hard?
Medium hard or soft hard is the one stop. You can also do medium soft, soft or medium soft. It depends on how comfortable you are on tire wear. I would say the one stop is the fastest.
If you start on the hard tire.
Yeah, hard tire is one stop for sure. Then go into the soft near the end, stretch the hard tires.
Hard
that
soft.
Would be what I have done if I start on hards.
We're probably going to have safety cars.
Yeah. I'm not seeing the grid by the way, so maybe mine is glitched. But
it's on the race director. Who else has gone hards? Delta's gone hard. So Delta, are you with us? What's your thought process for the hard tyre?
What? I've got a hard on. Leave me alone.
You have got a hard on.
Damn.
Just mix it up a little bit. Just to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's another thing to mix up. Impossible Bacon's gone to the softs now.
He has. And Rainer is on the hards as well. Rainer's got a hard on. So we've got... There we go. Here's the ready up. We're going to be going in 30 seconds. Hold on to your hats. Cool Beans hard. Exotic hard. Delta hard. Rainer hard. Everyone else mediums except for Impossible Bacon, who is on the soft. And
watch
last...
Impossible on the opening laps.
Yeah, he's going to be flying.
Because the softs are the prime race tire for the first 5 laps.
But he's got to get through. He's got to get through the first few corners. So we have, looks like we have Henry and Honesy watching us. They've made some comments. Henry's gone for a Cornet win on the cards, which isn't going to happen because Cornet's not racing. And Honesy's gone for a Silent win. So Honesy's predicting Silent to win. Now, Silent is quick. I've watched him in RFL. He is fast. So it wouldn't be out of the question. He gained how many positions? What, 13 positions?
11 or 12.
Yeah, here's the strategy. Lap 13 and lap 8 for the first round of pits, depending on what tyre you are on. So let's quickly get the tyres up again. And let's see what the Red Dog switched last minute to the soft tyre, so watch out for Red Dog at the start as well. He'll be absolutely motoring along. Absolutely motoring he will be. So 2 drivers on the softs.
There are a lot of guys to watch, to be honest, because Cool Beans was the highest classified from the grid right now, from last time we raced here, and Days right behind that. And Lasse also has really good pace the last races I have seen him drive. So we're gonna have some guys trying to cut through the field, and maybe drivers like Wiert, Rainer and Atomar leaving to defend.
Yeah. Atomar's on a really good run of form at the minute. He's always been probably a midfield driver. He's now top midfield driver. I'd put him in that bracket.
Yeah. And I put Rainer in the bracket. Like, if something happens at the front, he is there to take the podium.
Yeah.
Like the McLarens and Ferraris are this year in real life.
I
would put Rainer around there.
I'd probably put the McLarens in that bracket as well. I think the McLarens in this league, they do. Big B16 is definitely up there. He's not got a good qualifying set, and Ted Wardo's out. He's disqualified. Don't know what's happened there. There's quite a big gap between a Red Bull and a Alfa Romeo, so maybe there was an incident happening there. Ted is having issues with his game this evening. So we're doing the dance of the tyre warming as they go down the straight between turn 13 and 14.
There is a gap between Delta Lima and Days. Oh, it's closing now. Oh, that's not an issue anymore. And Mark of Kenya has a pretty big gap in front with the wheel. Oh, that's almost contact for
who's that?
Impossible
Will's round.
Mark.
Will is round. So Mark's been disqualified. Impossible's been disqualified, and Will has binned it on
At least his tyres are warm.
They'll be very warm. They might be a bit too warm because that happened right at the last minute. Let's jump on board.
It's funny to see that the last 3 drivers, all 3 of them, got disqualified.
Yeah. Okay, so we're now on board with Charlie. It's not the greatest camera view. Hopefully it switches in a second, which is not gonna. There we go. Right, we've got 5 lights. They're about to go out, and let's get ready to rumble. They're gonna go down the pit straight. No, they're not. They're all stationary on the grid. Have you got that as well? There we go. There are lights
Quinten,
out.
good start.
And away we go. Yeah, Quinten is already ahead, it looks like. Charlie could get swallowed up here on the turn. Yeah, Quinten is already ahead. There's a Mercedes of Wiert who's had an absolutely blazing start. And he's into P2. Wheel to wheel with Charlie. Charlie's lost 2 positions. Raider's up to P4. Kachow's down to P5. The side-by-side between Atomar and Silent. Is that Silent going to go up the inside? He's now on the back of Kachow. He's done Atomar. Atomar slipped down to P7. Red Dog remains as P8. And Wiert, wow, what a start from Wiert. Up to P2. Charlie has lost 2 positions, so his first time starting on pole, and the nerves got to him, I believe. We've got a driver falling down the grid.
Days going wheel to wheel as well. Oh, it's all fine.
Cool Beans has had a nasty start. He's down into P20 now. Bacon hasn't gained any positions. He's gained 1, should I say. Cool Beans around the outside. Ted Wardo and Impossible World going wheel to wheel. B16 is overtaking Righty Boy. And up the inside of turn 11, and Righty Boy could possibly try to go around the outside. He's got Mark of Kenya just up behind him. Who's this making a move?
We're on the outside of Days. Oh, the fast right-hander. That's a really good move there. He was.
Yeah, I was on them, but I missed it. I was looking at the drivers behind, so I missed the. They were at the top of my screen, and I was watching the.
I'm live streaming, so I'll share.
Yeah, I was watching the 4 cars all following, all in a line behind as they were looking to make some moves. So we've got a driver coming in the pits. Dace is already in the pit lane.
That's probably damage.
It doesn't look like he had damage, but we'll see what
check on
happens.
Rainer's Zufal because he's really close to Kachao. I'll keep my eyes on the days. He changes his wing, goes onto the soft tire, so he's going for the...
Okay.
Now
So
3-stop, but 2-stop strategy.
Oh, these camera angles are so bad. You click on a driver and it doesn't show you who you're watching on the broadcast view. So Silent is now behind Rainer. Rainer is now behind. We've got yellow flag.
Mark of Kenya around.
That's pretty standard for Mark at the minute. So Will is all the way up into
Edwards.
P11.
Mike Edwards spun around.
Oh dear.
At turn 4. I saw Haas. I thought it was Mark, but it was Edwards spinning around.
Such a good sprint qualifying from Edwards, and now he is unfortunately at the back of the grid. So Will is looking to make... He's flying through the field. He's right on the back of Delta Lima here. Is he going to look to make another move around the outside of turn 12 and 13? No. B16 goes...
Mark
Sorry,
going
Red Dog
really wide. That's dangerous.
Yeah, Red Dog went wide as well. Not quite as wide as what Mark did. But Will now chasing down Delta. DRS is going to be enabled. Oh, and Will had to take avoiding action there into the braking zone. Mark gets
Charlie
past
also closing
Red
up
Dog.
to Viert for P2.
Okay, let me jump
110.
on. Here we go. So Viet is chasing down Quinton. Charlie is not going to be close enough, or doesn't make a move into turn 1, but he's going to get another bite of the cherry with some DRS. It's now open. Viet will also have DRS, but Charlie looks like he's got the pace advantage. And no, he didn't get past. Charlie didn't have enough pace to get past Viet there. Viet obviously dumped a lot of ERS as well, and Kachao is hoping to pick up any little scraps as they go around. Exotic very close to the back of Rainer. At one point he was the championship leader. Red Dog is in the pit lane, so he obviously had some damage, hence why he went very wide at turn 12s and 13s. Bacon hasn't made up the pace positions that we thought he would. He's actually dropped. He's gained 2, but he's quite far back from the pack.
I think he might have had a little incident or maybe a small mistake. Let me
Yeah.
check.
So DRS is
There's
now...
nothing in the race director.
No, DRS is now enabled, so we are going to enter the DRS trains now, as they call them.
Let's hop onto Will and Delta
I'm
because that's
already
really
on it.
close and
Yeah.
they're not in a DRS train.
I'm on it. Delta has got DRS. So he's just about in DRS of the car ahead. He was, but maybe not so much anymore. He's just dropped out. So Will, this should be an easy move here for Will as we go down this straight. Here goes Will, makes a late move, goes up the inside of Delta, and the move is done and dusted. But is Delta going to do his famous switchback? No, he hangs it on the outside, inside, goes outside, back to inside. That first couple of corners is very flowing, and here we go. Will round the outside at turn 4, Delta up the inside, giving each other good room. That's a great little battle, but it looks like Will has finally got it done. Yeah, Will's finally got that move done. That's definitely the overtake of the race so far between those two. Both going wheel to wheel up 1, 2, 3, 4 into 5.
That's what we expect from those two drivers.
Yeah. So Charlie 4/10 behind Viet with the DRS open. Viet also has DRS, and Quinton is leading the race. He's not
There's
pulling
also
away
Williams
massively.
battle going on, actually. Attamar overtook Rainer Zufal, but if you told me that before the race, I didn't expect it.
No, but who's this Red Bull coming up the outside? Lasser is going to look like he's going to have a look and go round the outside between 12 and 13, but thought better of it. He's got... he tucks just in behind Rainer. So Rainer is now... Lasser's looking to make the inside move at the last corner. Brakes later. Oh, no. That was a bit... Yeah, that wasn't the best thing to do at that corner.
And
puts
Will goes up to the stack on Rainer Zufal.
It's 3 wide at turn 1. Is Lasser going to be the biggest loser again? Rainer is the sandwich.
He's making it 3 wide again. Will backs out, smart.
Yeah, Rainer goes
switch back
wide.
into turn 2.
Oh, this is very close. Will up the and then Will just sends it
Let's
up
go.
the inside.
Oh, that's
Lasser.
such a nice move there from
That
Will.
was. Will is having the absolute drive of his life. Lasser's trying to go around the outside. And it's going to...
Wheels.
Oh, who's this spinning round? There's a Haas,
two
there's
cars
a Haas round.
Two cars.
Delta and Mark of Kenya. Oh dear. That's not good. That's not good there. So Delta loses a few positions with Mark of Kenya going round as well. I'm assuming they had an incident together. Let's go back on board with Will. Will is now starting to put a little bit of a gap to Lasser. He's got 7. So he's now 1.5 seconds behind Atamar. So at one point, Rayner's lost about 4 positions in about a lap and a bit.
He's also on the hard tires. That might also affect this.
That's very true.
He
Silent
gets overtaken, get offline, then get overtaken again.
Silent is very close to the back of Kachow now, so let's ride on board with Silent as he follows Kachow down the last straight before the pit straight. Car number 69, nice. And yeah, Silent is going to be looking to make a move, and he's already up the inside. They've both got DRS. Silent's downforce must be absolutely minimal to be able to make that move before the DRS with the DRS open, but with Kachow with the DRS and in the slipstream. So Silent now up to P4, and he's got Charlie.
Wheel goes a bit wide in turn 1, Lasse peaks. Doesn't make it into turn 2. Going to turn 4, he might go for it. So can Rayner Zufall.
Oh, they're wheel to wheel, yeah. Lasse goes up the inside, Will around the
Lasse
outside,
goes wide
hangs
into
it,
Will.
and yeah, there we go. Will keeps that position, but Rayner's getting interested now. Cuts in front of Lasse. Lasse loses the position. Rayner gets it done. This is a great little battle between these 3 OG members. Lasse up the inside. That is a brilliant move there. Oh no!
Oh, Lasse, come on!
Oh.
This is not.
Just about saves it. McLaren got involved there as well. Rayner came back on the track a bit dangerously, I believe. Again, it's hard in this game because you can't watch replays.
Lasse and Rayner getting into a lot of incidents together this season.
They are, and here goes Lasse up the inside of Righty Boy at turn 11. Doesn't get the move done. And it's Silent in all that. It's now up to P3. He's done Charlie, and he's chasing down Viet. Yellow flag in sector 2. Who's this? Rayner is out. Rayner is out of the session. So we're going to be a full course safety car. Reset the race. Do you reckon anyone's going to pit? The soft tyres, I'm assuming, will pit.
There's something big that just happened in the freaking pit lane. I don't know what that was all about.
I can't see any penalties flashing up.
In a race director.
One of the drivers ahead of me just freaking ghosted and made me go through them. And then I lost my position to Silent, so I crashed into Vert.
Oh, that's weird. But it looks like Lasse and Rayner got together again and gave Rayner damage.
Why is Quinton all the way down in P6? He hasn't got a penalty.
I think he got held up in the pits.
Yeah, maybe. Atamar in
He's
P5.
off Tauri, so that's pretty.
What's happening here? Why is Atamar
late.
just completely overtaken that? This is. I'm hoping we're not glitched here. So Charlie's gone onto the soft tyres. Atamar's gone soft. Quentin's gone soft. Willans has gone medium. Fresh set of mediums.
Atamar Quinton, I think it's a little glitch.
Yeah, I don't know. It's confusing me a little bit.
The game keeps telling it to swap. Willans up 10 positions after 7 laps.
I was not supposed to go on softs. We're gonna have to box again now.
Oh, you're going to have to box again. Your pit crew have made a mistake.
I wasn't supposed to go on softs, but the game put me on soft.
Okay, you can make it work.
Maybe.
You can get veered and pull a gap because he's on hards. And then go into the mediums maybe. Or go into the fresh hards later on to try and re-overtake him after you pull the gap.
Okay, so where did I get down to? I got down to Will. Will's on fresh. Everyone's put fresh tyres on. Everyone dived into the pits. Now we've got a real rainbow of colours. So Will on fresh mediums. Righty Boy went hard. Exotic went hard. B16 went medium. Lasse went soft. Cool Beans medium. Medium for Red Dog Delta. Marco Kenya went medium. Bacon switched to the mediums. Ted Wardo's gone hard. Dace has gone from onto the mediums. And Medwoods has gone soft. So a real Rainbow of colours as the safety car has bunched everyone back up again, saved a few people's races, ruined a few others. I think probably has ruined Quentin getting held up or some kind of issue in the pit lane. Currently down in P6. That's not a great thing for him, losing 5 positions. Silent in P3, so he's having a fantastic race so far. Charlie obviously mentioned that he's supposed to put a different set of tyres on, but it's gone to the softs, and Viet on the fresh hard tyres. Hard tyres, will they go to the end? There's 20 laps left, 21 laps left. Would they go to the end?
You'll struggle a little bit at the end, but the hard tires go really long. But the first 5 laps, the hard tires are usually
useless,
bad, like really inconsistent. But after 5 laps, they're fine. The pace is decent and
rubbering in a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's jump on board with Delta. Delta, can you hear us? Team radio.
Yep.
So you opted for the medium tyre. What's your strategy? If you wanted to tell us on here.
Put a set of medium tyres on. Go fast. I want to go fast.
I want to go fast. So where do you reckon?
It would have been pointless not having a pit stop, considering like everyone's pitted.
Yeah.
Am I lagging for you guys?
Hang on, Charlie.
2 miles away from me. Yeah, so it would have been pointless.
I saw it. Doesn't look like you're lagging. I saw that.
God's sake, weird.
Charlie, mute please.
Weird.
Yeah.
Check me.
So it would have been pointless not pitting. Put a set of medium on, see how far I can push them, and I got the option to go medium or soft later on in the race. Got spun by Mark of Kenya. Unfortunately, I was pouncing on the back of the Reina Lassa wheel fight out of turn 4, and then Mark of Kenya caught up as well and clipped the back of me, and we both spun. So yeah.
Interesting. How far do you reckon these medium tyres will go?
Probably 20 laps.
Oh, you reckon you can push these mediums 20 laps? Interesting.
Well, if you have another lap or 2 underneath the safety car.
No, it's coming in this lap, if you didn't already know.
Alright then, bye.
Give it a shot.
So we're now going to be...
What happened between Veer and Charlie, it looked like Veer got too close to the safety car in turn 10 apex. So had to smash the brakes, which Charlie did not expect.
Okay.
So we went to the back.
So we're going racing. Viet is backing up. When does Viet go? Viet is gone. He's going to have Charlie on his gearbox as they come round. Charlie's going to make a move at the inside, but no, he thinks better of it. Silent has dropped down a couple.
Will and PAFR, Quinton, contact. Righty boy, no, he spins in front of Will.
So where's Will? Where's Will? Will down in 16 now. No.
Oh, that's really unlucky for Will.
Has he got damage?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so Kachow in P3. Viet. Charlie's done, Viet. So he's ahead. He's now got to get a gap. He's obviously on these soft tyres and he will have 5-second penalties. So he's got to try and get as many positions as he possibly can. Ted Waters had a great restart. He's up into P9. Fantastic from him. Corbyn's
amazing
in P10.
fight for P10. P10 to P16 are within half a second.
I'm on it. There's about 7 cars in...
Will! It breaks his front wing!
What has happened there? I was watching the back of... Oh my goodness.
And Will gets tapped around by Mark of Kenya.
Who's this going
really
backwards? Kenya is literally
Will was
going...
braking into turn 10, then he had slight contact with a Ferrari, I think. So Will lucked up.
Absolutely no wing. So the thing I find with Will, very fast driver, especially in this year's game. Mark of Kenya is literally just reversing down the straight. So what I find with Will is he's a little bit like Max Verstappen. He's definitely not as fast as Max Verstappen. But when he loses his head, he loses his head and he just doesn't concentrate on the task at hand. He can't think ahead. I find that a lot with Will, unfortunately, where
not this game, to be honest.
If it's not his, even if it's not his fault, he can't get his head back into the game quite as quick as what you probably should do. No, or am I just talking out of turn there?
That's old Will you're talking about.
Okay.
Because Will was braking for turn 10. He had slight contact with a car from the side. So what happens then if the balance is off? Go a little bit deeper, and then he went into the back of Another Ferrari, and he lost his front wing. As Ted Wardo is around.
Oh no, Ted's around as well, so he's got a time
Turn
penalty.
8.
Is Mark of Kenya driving again? Is he facing the right way?
Silent and Kachao. Silent goes around the outside of Kachao in turn 11.
Yeah,
Makes it
watching
stick.
those
Kachao
two.
damage.
Don't know, because Atamar's now going past. Atamar's going around the outside of Kachao. Goes very wide. Kachao keeps the inside line. And Atamar's still there. He's got his...
Keeps his nose in on
Yeah.
the softs.
And he's all over the back of Kachao.
Kachao deploying
Yes.
ERS. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do on this straight.
I think you have to do something just to try and keep your nose ahead. And Charlie is starting to pull a... He's got a 5-second lead already. So Charlie's
Loss
already...
is sneaking up.
So Quentin is chasing down hard as well. Got drivers all in a line. Quentin's going up the inside of Atamar, but doesn't get the move done. And who's that? That was Lasser, but I think it was just a bit laggy.
A
So Lasser
huge
was-
moment he had there. A lot of oversteer.
Exotic and Impossible is around.
Impossible's around.
Yeah, there he is. So Exotic goes through into P11. Red Dog in P14. B16 has gone shifted up quite a lot. Let's have a look at the position changes. What have we had? We've had B16's made up 8, who's the biggest winner this race so far. Biggest loser is Rayner, but he is obviously out. He's DNF'd. On the track, it's Red Dog who's lost 6. Lasser's gained 6. We have another yellow flag in Sector 1. That is the Alpha Tauri of Ted Wardo, which is going around. Tyres, when they get hot, they take a long time to cool down here. Let's jump back up to the front. Silent 3 tenths behind Viet.
The battle for P4 is the most exciting at the moment.
Yeah, so they're literally just behind. So Atamar still fighting with Kachao. Could we see Atamar's... Has he had a podium yet?
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't, has he? So I think he just missed out on one last week or the week before. I can't remember. He was very close, been very close, but very twitchy on the exit. He gets a huge amount of oversteer, and that's going to let Quentin have a nice, easy overtake, and possibly even Lasser.
Silent going past Weird on the straight, easy overtake.
Yeah, I think Silent is running quite low downforce. Because he does seem to be getting...
he's really fast on the straight.
He's absolutely rapid on the straights. He's a very fast
Weird
driver,
is
to
not
be fair.
even catching up well in slipstream with the RS.
Yeah, so the Atamar did look to make another move on Lasser there, but thought better of it. So, Silent is now... What tyre was Silent on? The hard tyre as well. So let's see what his pace difference is between him and Charlie, because Charlie has pulled a 6-second gap, but he is in the softs, and they don't last. I think they only last about 8 or 9 laps. So he's gonna have to come into the pit again very soon.
The softs go for around 7-8 laps. If you're driving normal pace.
Yeah. But a total lifespan of about 9 laps, so you won't be able to push them much more than 9 laps. If you take them, but beyond that, you're in puncture territory, which you do not want. So
will we see Charlie pitting this or next lap for the mediums?
Well, if he does, what's the pit lane loss here? About 25 seconds? Normally that's about average, isn't it? He'll be
20-ish. He has a full train behind him, about 6 seconds behind.
The gap between himself and 15th is 25.5 seconds. With a 5-second time penalty, so he's going to be he'll join
P13, P14.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be lower than that. I think it'll be P16 he'll come out, or P15 with in an impossible spot. So he's probably got to stay out as long as he possibly can before the tyre goes bang. He is pulling a tiny gap between himself and Silent. The hard tyres, there is that train though. So you've got the 3 hard tyre runners. Quentin's very close to the back of Kachao, and Quentin makes the move. Quentin gets it done on Kachao just as I joined in. Lasser is looking to make a move on Atamar, and he's done it, so he's just behind Kachao. So Kachao's losing some places, but he is on a hard tyre, so he is well placed for the end of the race.
He's getting overtaken by soft tires, so they're not in his race at the moment.
Charlie's pulling out about a 10th or 2 per sector on Silent, it looks like.
As long as he's pulling away, I should stay on the softs if I were him.
Yeah, the gap at the beginning.
At the time it stabilizes, that's when you immediately jump.
Yeah, it's not flying up right now.
Big
So
boy P8 also in the middle of this train, with Days behind him after a really bad first lap by Days.
Yeah.
Good recovery from him.
Delta in P12, so he hasn't lost any. He's lost one position off his starting, but he's on the medium.
really low on battery, and Atomar is.
Oh yeah, he is, isn't he?
He might try and go for it. That's from really far back. We almost made it.
Kachow just, he's not got, he doesn't seem to have the pace today, does he? Kachow, he just doesn't, he hasn't got the pace
The
to
hard
challenge
tires
the front.
don't seem to fit him a lot today.
Even in the
But it
sprint
might
race, he
also
didn't
be
seem to
because
have
the cars around are on soft. That might be deceiving.
True, yeah, I do keep forgetting that, to be fair. I just always expect Kachow to be out the front, or fighting for P1, P2, P3, whereas at the minute he's fighting for P6. You've got a yellow flag. Who's that? Looks like a Medwards again. A Wild Medwards is round.
I think we might see Charlie pitting this lap as the gap only extended by a tenth to Silent.
Yeah, so it looks like, as you said, it's stabilised. So Charlie probably should come into the pits on this lap, but he will drop.
I would say P13, P14 he would come out.
But he's got the 5-second penalty, don't forget, as well.
Oh,
He's going to
yeah.
add the 5 seconds on.
P15.
I reckon it will come out P15 in a train.
But he will have a lot of fun. He's staying out.
He is staying
for
out.
another lap.
So the gap has actually gone down by a tenth. Maybe 2 now. So Silent is starting to catch. Kenya is out. He's retired in the pit lane.
Lasse close to Kachow, but he doesn't have the battery.
He's literally just surviving on...
Delta coming up to Exotic on the main straight and going past him easily on the straight.
Up the inside. Exotic, is he going to fight back? Yes, Exotic fights back and gets the move back again.
Delta Lima gave it back, it looked like. He broke really early.
Yeah, that's interesting. It did look like he was going slow.
When you have time, can you maybe have a radio? If there's time.
Who, with Delta?
Yeah, we'll maybe hear from him soon, but if we won't, then I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
So the gap with Silent and Charlie has stabilised. There is
another
no
tenth this lap. No, not really half a tenth, so it's...
No, it's starting to come down again. It's just ebbing and flowing through the usual, so it's not going up, it's not going down. So it's Charlie's time, probably, to pit.
I think I heard a yellow flag noise.
Oh, you had a yellow flag?
Yeah, I had a yellow flag. Just on Michael Kenya's retirement. And it went green literally just after I went past, so I had to back out rather than get an illegal overtake.
It's fair enough. We thought it looked a bit strange how you just slowed right down. We'll get back to it, get Exotic. So we won't interrupt Charlie just yet. We'll wait for him to go into the pit lane and see what his thoughts are. But
He's
at the minute,
losing time at the moment. It's already 3/10 from turn 12 onwards.
So he said he normally wins races on
straight, but
he says he normally wins races on strategy rather than pure pace. At the minute, his strategy, he obviously had a bit of a mix-up with Jeff, so he's put the wrong tyres on. There's not many battles going on. Atomar and Lasser are fighting hard. Atomar...
Lasser lost 2 positions there.
I think, Lasser
Did he make a mistake?
I think he must have done, because B16's gone through as well. And he's got Dace right behind him.
And Dace, if Dace sees an opportunity, he goes for it, and he usually makes it stick if he goes for it. So that's going to be really interesting to see.
Which can get him into a bit of trouble sometimes, but he does come up with some very good overtakes.
I think the tires from Lasse are dropping off.
He is on the softs.
He lost traction at the exit of turn 10 as well.
Yeah, Dace has already got past. No, he's not. Lasser is fighting it. Let's hope they don't come to blows, as Dace has got the more... Lasser does keep on to that.
Oh, that's Exotic. No, Kachow around. Kachow spinning, you don't see that every day.
You do on this game. Have you been watching NRL?
No.
Yeah, he's very close to quitting the game, if I'm honest, because he can't handle the spins.
I don't blame him.
So Quinton's in the pits. Charlie's staying out. These tyres are going to be dead What tyres are they going on to? The medium tyres, is that? Yeah, medium tyres.
What if Charlie extends this soft stint and goes for another soft stint? He's already on him for 9 laps. I don't think he is going to do it. It's not impossible.
I don't think they're going to last.
Because 11 or 12 laps on softs with low fuel
Yellow flag
is going to be tricky.
Red Bull.
And see, a Red Bull spun, it's impossible.
It's not Lassa, it was impossible, yeah. When I was in the practice session earlier, it said that the soft tyres had a lifespan of 9 laps. I did 5 laps and they had 4 laps and I had 33% on them.
Yeah, so he's going to be pitting this lap onto the mediums, probably.
He's going to have to. I don't think he can extend much more.
No, it would be way too tricky to try and do that.
Way too risky. Obviously, you can't really see the blistering. You've got yellow flag, and it looks like it's an Alpine.
Altomar, no!
No,
it's such a good race, and he's
Williams,
spun.
Yeah.
Probably the tyre wear kicking in as well for him.
Right, Charlie's in the pits. Charlie, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I almost speed in the pit lane.
Did you? Oh, you got your 5 seconds. You got your 5 seconds to serve. You're going to come out.
I'll be demanding that to be taken off.
You won't be able to because you've served it in the pit lane, unfortunately.
Yeah, can it get can I have 5 seconds get taken away from my rate?
No, we don't. We don't do that. No, unless So you're kind of coming out in P9. So I'll let you get back racing.
P10.
P10. Get your head down. Charge back.
Yeah, I will.
Let's go, Charlie. You can do it.
So we've got Charlie in P10. Everyone ahead of him is on either old mediums or old hard. So he's going to have he's the first driver out on the freshest tyres. So he's only going to...
After spinning, Kachao might actually still be on the podium on those hard tyres.
Yeah, he's going to be going to the end. He's fighting hard. He's got Dace just ahead of him.
He's sticking with Silent.
He is.
From what we heard earlier, is a really fast driver. So Weird might be a big surprise here.
Yeah, definitely. He's got some pace this game, hasn't he? He's always had a little bit of pace, but he's really starting to unleash it. If he can keep the consistency.
Last year he had some races where he was really fast. But this year he just got his consistency up.
Yeah, it definitely suits some people rather than others, over others.
Yeah.
And driving styles and how you hit the corners.
The game suits my driving style quite good, but it's I don't enjoy the game as much as I did at the start.
Right, Charlie already up to P8.
Already goes fast.
I just got forced off. I've got a warning now.
So Charlie up to P8, he's got on Righty Boy, and Quentin's going through on Bacon. Red Dog's in the pits, that's why he was dropping down. So Charlie is now 5.5 seconds behind Delta. He's got a bit of time to catch up. Alpine teammates, is there going to be any team orders going on here? Medward's up to P15. The race is in a bit of a lull at the minute. There's not a lot really happening with the pit stop phases.
Do you think Weird is saving tyres behind Silent to go and charge on the last laps?
He could well do. Just get dragged along for a little while. I mean, they've both got the same amount of ERS.
Using a lot of ERS though. They're both low on ERS.
Yeah, 25% they both got. B6. I've just noticed something. B16 is in a podium. He's in P3.
He still has to pit. Don't forget that.
That's very true. Yeah, it's very true.
It's in a really good position for him.
Yeah, that's very true. He's in a very, very good position.
I think they're going to pit the next lap or stretch the mediums.
What tyre did B16 start on? He started on the medium, yeah, so he does definitely have to go either soft or hard at the end. 9 laps left. He could pit now onto the softs and try and do a bit of a comeback drive.
Dace might stretch this. He goes for switchback on B16.
He does.
B16
what tyre
did have a really good exit there.
Well, to be fair, Dace has been through the pits God knows how many times. He's done 2 stops so far, medium, soft, medium. So he doesn't technically have to pit again. If he can stay out, he can stay out. Viet isn't losing time to Silent. Delta is only 6/10 behind Exotic, so Delta is having a fantastic race. Charlie's already gained 2 seconds on Delta. And Righty Boy in the points in P9. Quinton down to P10.
Days went past B16. I didn't see it, but it looked like B16 had a really bad turn 10 and is struggling with tire wear.
So yeah, expect to see... You want to get the best out of the soft tyres. You don't want to pit too late, because we have seen them drive for about a good 7 or 8 laps with some good pace. So around about now, probably the next lap, I reckon, stay out this lap and pit next. As we say that, yeah, Dace comes in, so Dace isn't going to stretch those tyres. He comes into the pit lane and B16 takes P3 back. Kachow into P4, and he will be a net P3, as you say. He could still be on the podium even with a spin. Delta into P6. He does have to pit again though. He's fighting with Exotic into turn 1. Exotic brakes late. Side by side. Switch back. Yellow flag. Who's this? It's a Red Bull. And it's Impossible Bacon, I believe. Who's having a bit of a mare at the minute. Impossible's having a bit of a mare of a race at the minute. He came in last minute, so he probably hasn't had too much practice. Viet dropped to 10th to Silent.
Both are on the DRS straight, so he gained it back already.
Yeah, and they are saving it. Looks they are both saving ERS. They're not using it. So yeah, watch out for those. They're not too far off their fastest laps. What is the fastest lap of the race so far? It is a 27.729 set by Charlie. So he's got the fastest lap of the race. He's now only at 1.1 seconds behind Delta, his teammate.
Probably also going to see the medium drivers of B16 and Delta Lima pitting this lap, probably. Which is also something to lose.
Yeah, so B16 is coming in the pits. Slows down enough for the pit lane entry. Delta is going to be coming in the pits, I assume. No, he's going to try and stretch these tyres. Charlie is behind. Delta gets the move done.
This might be really good teamwork from Delta and Exotic if they pull it off.
There we go, Delta's around. Delta's through. And Charlie is going to try and get through. Exotic is fighting back up the inside. Oh, cockpit camera seems to be the best one to get overtaking moves done. Good views on them anyway. Charlie is literally going to follow these two through. He's on the outside of Delta here. He's on the outside. He's going to go up the inside for turn 8. And Charlie gets it done. So, Charlie, he's got to hold up Exotic for Delta now. And get Delta through on Exotic.
Charlie still has a good chance to get P4. Maybe P3 if he has a really good race.
Yeah, what's his gap?
That really depends on it.
So Charlie's 18 seconds. He's 8 seconds behind Kachow right now. So he's not too far away with 7 laps left. Who's going backwards? Dace is going backwards.
I think he has wing damage because he lifted a lot through the fast right-hander, which is flat.
Let's have a look. It doesn't look like he's got wing damage, but there is a... when it goes yellow, it doesn't show up on the car, I don't think. It only shows up on the... Let's see what he does. He's on a fresh set of softs, so he shouldn't have too much understeer. Charlie is through on Exotic. Exotic is fighting back, and Exotic is around the outside, inside. And Exotic's got the better downforce, and he's already through. Delta's looking up the inside of Charlie as well. Charlie's going to try and go around the outside. He's losing a hell of a lot of time in this little fight here. Exotic is fighting like a madman and keeping on. He wants to keep that P4. He's obviously got the older, harder tyre on compared to Charlie.
Quinton and Dace go side by side through the fast chicane, and Quinton spins around, touches the inside curb.
Oh dear. Yes, there he is. He's around. Bacon sets the fastest lap, so he has got pace. Oh, that's unlucky for Quinton. He's dropping down to 12th.
I did say chicane, but I meant Yeah, you know what I mean.
He's only
It's a
going to
sick
lose more time as well because the tyre wear and the tyre temperatures are going to be pretty painful. So Charlie is now 2/10 behind Exotic.
P16 and Righty Boy are also really close with a tire difference.
Oh yeah, so P16 coming through. He's going to get some good points again at the minute if he can keep coming through the field. He's not too far behind Dace in P7. So P16 gets the move done. He's only 2.5 seconds behind Dace. And Dace has got a time penalty as well. What's his time penalty? 3 seconds. Delta finally decides to pit. He's going to have a bit of fun on these soft tyres now. Let's see what kind of pace Delta's got. Whereabouts is he going to come out? He's going to come out behind Atamar, behind Quintin, probably behind Cool Beans as well. Filtering it
Red Dog
about.
overtakes Cool Beans on the straight. Easy overtake with DRS.
So Cool Beans comes out just behind that little... who's that going backwards? Oh, Quintin unfortunately is going backwards on the exit of 3. Charlie is still stuck behind Exotic. Exotic, again, another car probably with quite low downforce setting as Charlie is really struggling, even with DRS, to even try and get past him.
Fingers are starting to hurt.
So Charlie's going round. He's going to look to try and get into the DRS again and try and get Exotic down the pit straight, I believe. He doesn't want to make the...
Lasse and Righty Boy side by side, doesn't make it. Righty Boy still ahead. It's a good fight for P8.
Yeah,
It was just for P7, but Righty Boy and Lasse had a fight, which made them lose time to P7.
So
I can't get ahead because my fingers are starting to fall off. I can't feel them.
Alright, so we've got a bit of an injury with FRL Charlie. He's struggling. He's out of practice. He's not going to last the rest of the race, I don't think.
Lasse passes Righty Boy on the straight. Again, easy overtake there.
Yep.
But nevertheless, it's for position.
No other real gaps going on. Charlie is looking to cut the inside of Exotic, thinks better of it, doesn't leave his nose in and filters back in behind.
Keep an eye out for Days as well on the softs.
Will do. He's got 3-second time penalty, but he's 3 seconds behind Charlie. Via is still 7/10 behind Silent. That gap is just not changing.
Do you think that Weird is gonna play it safe and go for a really impressive P2? Or is he gonna push on the last couple of laps and maybe go for P1?
I don't know. What's your... Oh, there you go.
That's good enough. Weird just has to stay within 3 seconds and not make mistakes to win his first SFR race.
To enter the Hall of Fame. Who's that getting a bit twitchy on the exit? Silent got twitchy.
He's already in the Hall of Fame because of a podium. But he might add a P1 to it. I think he can do it.
I mean, he's showing some really good pace today. He's very
Really
consistent.
impressed with him,
I mean, you're his friend. What would you say he would do?
Yeah.
Is he someone who takes risks, or is he quite a conservative?
Conservative in a situation like this where he doesn't have to take a risk.
So
Is
Charlie,
that Exotic around?
no.
I'm sorry.
Charlie finally gets his VSC.
Virtual safety car.
Who's this? Who's around? I can't see. Who's out?
It was an AlphaTauri. Ooh, Delta Lima and Red Dog had a big collision.
So I see Red Dog's got 5 seconds.
That's a shame. There's
Delta's
a
got
lot
5
of wing
seconds.
damage for Delta Lima. His whole front wing is gone.
Oh dear.
Delta, what happened there? I saw it on screen, but didn't really pay a lot of attention to the driver.
You're live on.
I think I might have gave Exotic damage.
You've given Exotic damage.
I think I might have, because when I went into turn 1, he hit my rear wing.
I can't see any
hard.
on his. Can't see any on his car.
Alright.
Delta, what happened between you and Red Dog? Or do you not want to talk about it?
No, I come around the glass corner, my Delta's green, and he was just stopped, dead.
Oh. Yeah, they need to fix
my
this.
race is done.
Yeah, they need to fix this VSC, really, don't they? It's not the best.
Keeping the gap is really weird at some corners.
Yeah.
like the last corner, because you have the safety car pace, but the safety car is really slow around corners, like the last corner.
So we're going back green. Delta is unfortunately going to have to pit. He can't drive around with no front wing for the rest of the race. Viet is lost time under that VSE. Was probably being very, very conservative there, not wanting to get any kind of time penalty. So he's out
past Exotic into turn 1 as well.
So Viet's out of the DRS now. So what's Silent going to do? Is Silent going to absolutely floor it for 2 laps or a lap and a half? 2.5 laps, sorry. Or is Viet going to be able to close this gap again?
For Viet, 1.5 seconds in 3 laps. It's half a second per lap he has to lose.
Yeah.
Which is quite a lot. I haven't driven with Silent before. You said that Honshi said he is fast, so he probably is fast.
He is. He won. He was on course to win an RFL race in the McLaren as well. In a realistic car against fast Mercedes drivers, he is quick. He is quick.
It's only like 2/10 in the last half of the track. 2 laps left for Viert to keep the gap within 3 seconds.
So maybe Exotic does have damage because he's now lost another position. B16's up into P6. Dace
He
has
has damage, it looks like.
Yeah, B16 has... Dace has a 3-second time penalty, so at the minute B16 is in a net P5. Which would be another huge point-scoring finish for McLaren. They're really pushing the constructors this season.
Cool beans, Medwards.
Yeah. There we go. Cool beans. This is gonna had a little look up the inside. Not nearly close enough to make the move happen, and he's gonna filter into his DRS. Medwards is dumping his ERS. He's used about 20% already. He's been on his ERS from the exit of the last corner to the braking zone of turn 1. Absolutely dumping it. So Cool Beans has got a lot of ERS to play with, and Medwards hasn't got too much. So yeah, Cool Beans is going to be looking to get this move done as soon as he can. Viet has lost a couple of tenths. He's now 1.8 behind. Interesting to see how many warnings Viet has got.
I'll check for you.
Lassa 3 tenths behind Exotic, so Exotic is unfortunately falling down. We got a yellow flag in sector 1. Who's this?
Viet has 2 warnings. He's doing personal best sectors for the last.
Oh my! I thought that was. It looked like it was Aston Martin going slowly there, but it wasn't. I think it was the AlphaTauri of Ted slowing down for some reason. It just looked like an Aston Martin there. So Viet now is 2 seconds behind, so all he has to do is stay within
a second in a lap, 8 tenths.
8 tenths now. Is Silent starting to floor it? They both got the same amount of ERS.
It's impossible around again. Probably tried to go for a fast lap, but spun.
Delta goes through. Quentin down in P17. Horrible second half of the race for
go
him.
on board with Viert for the last lap. There's not a lot going on for points, and it's really important.
Yeah, so he's lapped Delta. Here we go. Viet, it must be absolutely bricking it right now. Keeps it in the track. Delta is right on his gearbox. Right, so Silent is about to come across the start-finish line. He's going to win the race on the tarmac. However, Viet is a winner in SFR. Viet has won his first ever race, so congratulations to Viet. Kachau is going to remain ahead of FRL Charlie. Charlie had a valiant comeback but got stuck behind Exotic for a little bit too long. And Kachau comes third, he's on the podium. Charlie comes home in P4, hits the wall, loses his wing, nearly DNF'd if I'm honest. B16 gets P5, Dace in P6, Lasser's about to cross the line in P7, Righty Boy looks like he's going to get P8 with Exotic into P9. Red Dog is going to lose his points finish, I believe, with Atamar going to take that away from him with time penalties. So yeah, Atamar into P10, Red Dog in P11, Medwards in P12 with Coolbeans 13th. Willans, unfortunately, he's still going wheel to wheel with him and Impossible. Good friends, they're fighting each other, it looks like. Having a bit of a battle between each other. Impossible going up the inside.
Who just got a 20-second time penalty?
How's that?
Someone just got a 20-second time penalty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for ignoring yellow flags.
So Will is doing donuts.
Of course he is.
There you go, he's across the line.
Is your driver of the day?
My driver of the day, probably, I mean, the official one is B16. I would probably say that's up there. He's definitely up there from the back of the grid. Yeah. I think he started like P16, didn't he? P16, P17, and come through to P5. Silent has come through the grid. Kachow with a comeback from spinning. It's such a hard choice, but I'm probably going to give it to Viet for his first win. You can't deny him a win. You can't deny him that. He won his first ever race in SFR. He's probably been the most consistent, probably the most consistent driver throughout qualifying, the sprint, and the race. So yeah, it's got to give it to Viet, if I'm honest. Congratulations to him.
I really can't choose between Weird and Days, to be honest. Days had a terrible first lap, got to last, and still got back to P6 on the alternate strategy, which also is really impressive. He did 4 pit stops and still got P6 after a terrible lap 1. So he is up there for me, and of course Weird, because your first win, he drove really good with drivers as Silent and Kachow, and finishing ahead of them is not easy.
No, he's done a brilliant job. So yeah, definitely give it to him. But honourable mentions to B16 and to Silent as well. And Will, up until halfway through, well, probably up to about lap 10 on the actual race.
Yeah, when he got really unlucky with the incident. Not by his fault, but you need to, yeah.
And overtake of the race, I'd definitely go for the wheel-to-wheel action with Will as well. That was a brilliant couple of corners.
Yeah, or Will around the outside of Days on one of the first laps, or the other one with Will, yeah. Do you want me to invite Weird into the party for a small interview?
Yeah, do it. Let's get him in.
Well, you might be ready for a fight between me and
Keep it out of the live stream for now. After we're done live streaming, you can say whatever you want.
Hello, hello.
Viet. GG's,
hello.
mate. GG's.
Congratulations, mate.
Thank you, boys. Thank you, boys. Deserved. Finally, my first win was long overdue in SFR. It was long overdue. So finally.
Yeah, it was. We were watching, and the gap just wasn't changing between you and Silent. Cornet was saying you were probably waiting for him either to make a mistake or you were saving up your ERS. What was your plan there when that gap was sort of staying about 7/10 for the whole race, pretty much?
To be honest, my intentions were to just save ERS and stay behind, because he was very, very rapid just before the safety car. Just after the safety car, and I saw his red light flashing, and then I knew, okay, he's using a lot of ERS, so I'm gonna keep calm, just relax, hold the gap, and save ERS. But then I made, like, I don't know, 1 in 3 laps I made a mistake, then got back out of the DRS, and I needed to use that saved ERS to get back in. But in the end, he got a penalty, so there was nothing really that could have gone wrong. Apart from that Wardo always ruining my race, he scared the hell out of me, driving through us. But yeah, the
He was faster than I thought he was in the last stages of the race, so it wasn't easy at all.
No, I mean that was the concentration you must have had there was unreal. To keep that gap, you were literally just behind him. It just never changed. Every time I looked at it, it was 7/10. So the concentration you must have.
It was full focus. Normally, I'm very talkative during races, but I was in a party with Days, and it was, silent for the most part. Just focus.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
You and Days had a little scrap in the beginning of the race, didn't you?
No, not in a quali.
Oh, it was in a sprint race.
I blocked him in quali. I wanted to give him a tow. We were doing that the whole session long, and I just went too late. And I tried to avoid him, and he went the same way as I did. So that's what happened.
Oh, that's a shame. Days also I think it's a really good race for Mercedes.
He had a really good race.
An incident at the start.
Yeah.
Had to pit and then was at the back and still came back to P6, if I'm correct.
Yeah, P6, and he said his 3-second penalty was unjustified. So Stewards will have a look at that. So maybe P5. We'll see.
We'll see, but welcome to the Winners Club.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
What song would you like for your first P1 in the? What song would you like me to put on there?
Probably some Kodak.
Yeah, throw me something Kodak in there, and it's okay.
What's Kodak?
You'll find
Kodak
out.
Black.
Just
it's an artist.
put on any song. It's okay.
All right, I'll do that very shortly.
As long as it's Kodak Black.
I don't know what Kodak is.
No?
No.
Kodak. He probably is
the
hardest rapper in the game for a long time now.
Fair enough.
Right.
All right, we'll get that on there. Perfect. Well, congratulations, Viet. I'll be adding you in there very shortly.
Thank you very much.
It's a really good race there. Well deserved.
Thank you. I'm gonna watch it back. Hope there's some good comms. Otherwise, I'll let it know. I'll file a report against the commentators.
Do it. We were bigging you up, to be fair.
Thank you, guys, and speak to you next time.
Yeah, well done. Speak to you next time.
Yeah. Right.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's that. We'll leave it at that, I believe, because I've got to go off and make a cup of tea now because I'm thirsty. So there we go. That's SFR round 6
That's
over and done with.
the most British thing ever, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Cup of tea. So yeah, let's leave it at that. We race in. I think was it Russia next week or Japan? I think it's Russia. Yes, we're in Russia next week, which I don't think we've done, if not probably since season 1 or 2.
Do you mind if I invite Will into this party for a quick interview about his first laps?
Yeah, do it.
Well, get ready for a person who sounds like they're on drugs.
Really impressive.
Will's gonna air rape me probably. Just like we did at the start.
Because if he finished the race where he ended up before he DNF'd, he would have got driver of the day for me.
Yeah, he was having a great run up until that incident he had.
If my fingers didn't die at those on those last 10 laps, then I probably could have got P3.
Hello, Will. Are you ready for a small interview about your first half of the race?
Yeah, yeah. We were talking about the second half. Yeah, sure.
Your first half of the race was amazing.
Absolutely fantastic.
Like 11 positions after 10 laps, if I'm correct, or less than 10 laps even.
Something like that, yeah.
What went through your head while cutting through the field? I know you love doing that,
anger?
like overtaking.
I was just angry and I was so pumped up. That Jim Strav guy disconnected in the sprint race and jumped the start. His AI jumped the start, so I reacted to that. So I was starting from the back of the grid basically.
Ah, okay.
And so I was just like, well, I'm going for it. Nothing to lose. Unfortunately, the game did some, like, I moved down the inside of Exotic, and we made like a tiny amount of contact, and the game just like basically took my brakes away. It was really weird, which caused absolute carnage at the hairpin. But Yeah, other than
Yeah, I
that,
saw that. You were breaking small contact and you went straight on, like the brakes
Yeah.
didn't work anymore.
it was. I don't even know what that was. There was nothing wrong with the move as well. Exotic just tried to like squeeze me a little bit too much, I think, which I think was fair enough. It should have just been a tiny bit of contact and then carrying on. But instead, for whatever reason, it caused absolute chaos.
Yeah, it was a pile of 6 cars, I think, who all went wide because of that small, tiny tap.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Marco, you have any questions for Will?
No, just pretty much what you said. Will was having a great race. We were both lauding you up, and then unfortunately that turn 10 incident seemed to really put you off, and you just yeah, I think there's about 3 or 4 cars involved in that incident as well. I'm not sure who was involved, but there was a big train of you, and you were flying through it. I was expecting you to be up there, but unfortunately it didn't happen for you. But up until that point, definitely driver of the day for me.
Yeah, I don't know where my pace came from. I just felt so quick compared to everybody else. I was just nailing everybody on exits, and I was just going for every move, and it was just brilliant. But yeah, Cody's can't let you have all the fun. Do you know what I mean?
They can't. They've got to throw a
It
spanner
is a
in the
game
works
at the end of the
and
day. It's
yeah,
not supposed to be fun. So
exactly.
Well, then I think thanks for joining us for this small interview, and we'll talk to you later.
yeah, thank you.
What is codec? How do you spell it?
Kodak.
I'm kind
K-
of worried to what it is. I'm
K
kinda worried
O
to hear it.
KODA codec. Ah, there we go. He looks a
He
bit
has
strange.
I personally don't like his music. It sounds good, but it's nothing for me, you know.
If I won the race, I knew what song I would have done.
What's that?
Bangarang.
Bangarang. is that?
No, you're joking, right? You've seriously not heard of that.
Oh, I think I've heard of it.
If you haven't, then you are not living.
Is the live stream ended?
Just
You
gonna
ever heard of
end it now.
Skrillex?
So that's it. Let's get rid of the live stream. Thank you for joining us. Let's say Russia next week, and yeah, thank you for joining us.